Hey, what's going on, guys? So it's Anson and we're back with a brand new video. I'm going to show you guys how to send embed messages on Discord in version 12. There's actually a couple things I need to mention that I completely forgot to mention. I know I started the first two episodes talking about installing nodejs in the text editor. One thing that I did not realize, and I should have covered this from the very beginning, is that you need to make sure that you are on version at least 12.0.0 of Node.js. Okay, I actually just ran into an error with the API because I was actually using version 10.13.0. No, I think it was 10.30. Yeah, it was 10. It was like version 10, and it was giving me an error, and I just realized that I needed to actually update my node. So I updated to version 12, and everything's all good. So make sure that you check what your Node.js version is. You can do so by typing in node -- version, and it will tell you the version on the terminal. There's also a tool called NVM, which stands for Node Version Manager, which allows you to switch between versions. But again, if you're a beginner, just make sure you have the LTS version installed on the website. As of today, it's March 17th, 2020, version 12.16.1. Just download it, make sure you have it installed, and you should be all good. Okay, remember, if you are on a previous version that does not meet the requirements, you're gonna run into a lot of issues. Okay, so just making sure that you guys are aware of that. With that being said, let's actually get started to the main point of the video. So in version 11, we had the rich embed class, and we can instantiate the rich embed class to create embeds. Okay, but in version 12, they actually deprecated rich embed class, and I'll actually show you over here. Where's version 1.5.1? You can see right over here. This is the rich embed class. It's no longer available in version 12, so we have to instantiate the message embed class, and the documentation actually shows you a very simple example on how to create a message embed. So we're just gonna create our own. Okay, the way I'm gonna do this is I'm just going to create a command that's going to dynamically create an embed for us with a dedicated message. But of course, you can use these however you want. I'm just going to show you how to actually do it. So we're going to create a command, and we're just going to call this command embed. It's going to invoke the isValid command function that I've declared up here, and that just validates our command, making sure that it starts with the correct prefix, which is a question mark, and the name of the command, which is embed. Okay, and in future videos, I'm actually going to start with commando. I think I might start another commando series, or I might use a command handler series. I'm not sure, but anyways, let's just focus on this tutorial. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and say let. What we're gonna do first is we're going to have to get the content that we want the embed to have. So for example, I want to create a command question mark embed, and then I'm going to pass in an argument, hello world, my name is Sty, and that's going to be displayed inside the embed message. So what I'm going to do is whoops, I'm going to go ahead and go over here, and I need to get that argument, so I'm going to say let embed content equal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the substring function on the message content. So we're going to say message.content.substring, and what this function does is it returns the substring at the specified location. So what I want is I want all of the I want the entire substring starting at whatever position H is at. Okay, so we can actually just count the string. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, you can actually just count, because you know that strings are 0 indexed, and what that means is that the first character is always going to start at position 0. Okay, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So H is at position 7. Okay, we just counted it. So we're going to pass in 7, because that's where we're going to get our substring. That's where we're going to get our argument at. There's another way to do it. You can also use the index of function. And basically what we could do with that is we can basically find the first index of the first occurrence of the space, and we can get the position of that, and then we can just add 1 and we can get H. Okay, but let's just stick with this, and if I just console.log this, I want to show you guys what actually is outputted. So, but I'm sure you guys trust me anyways, so you can see that whoops, let me just close this. You can see that the argument is logged to the console. And of course, if I want to type more, this is an embed message, I can do so. Okay, and if I want to put emojis in there, let's try putting a joy emoji and ha 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 ha. And you can see, just like that, perfect. Okay, so now let's take this variable and let's put that inside an embed. So we're gonna create an embed. I'm gonna show you guys two ways to create an embed. Okay, so the first what we're gonna do is we're going to instantiate the message embed class. To do that, we're gonna first declare a variable. We're gonna assign it the value of new Discord dot message embed. Okay, so one thing that I want to mention is that this Discord variable is a constant. Remember, if you have been following on with the series, this constant variable over here has the entire module, because what we're doing here is we're requiring the Discord.js module and we're storing it inside this variable called Discord, and it has access to all of the classes. Okay, you can actually look at all the classes on the documentation. It's labeled under classes. You can see all of the available classes, and these classes pretty much represent all of the instances that you deal with often. So for example, the message object itself is an instance of the message class, and in this case embeds are an instance of message embeds. Okay, so and you might have noticed too that when I use the dot operator, you can actually scroll through if you have Visual Studio Code, or I think even it works on Atom. This actually supports on Atom too, and you can just scroll through and look at all the available classes. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we can actually call a couple of similar functions that the rich embed class had. Again, there's really not much of a difference in version 12, so I'm going to try to speed this up a little bit. But we're going to do a couple things. We're going to add a field. So we're going to say add field, message, and we're going to pass an embed content. And we're going to set the color. So this takes in a color resolvable. You can actually just look at the docs and you can see what is a color resolvable. So you can pass in either a string, which it can be a hex string. You can pass in just a regular number. You can pass in an RGB array, kind of like this. It's up to you, but I'm gonna pass in my favorite color, which should be some variant of blue. We're gonna pass in the hex value. You have to have the pound symbol so that it knows that it's a hex string. Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and set the title new embed message created. Okay, let me show you guys how this looks like. So if you want to send the embed, we can just use the send function on the channel. Okay, that's how we're doing message.channel.send. And let's just go ahead and paste this in now. There we go. So that's the title. That's the field name. So you have message, which it comes from over here, and we have hello world, the exact message that we have over here. Personally, I don't like using fields. I just prefer putting everything in as a description. So if you want to set a description, you can call the set description function, and you can just pass in whatever you want. One thing to note that your message embed, one thing that a lot of people get confused about is that they think embeds are individual messages themselves. They are not. They are part of a message. So an embed or a message can have multiple embeds. Okay, but an embed belongs to only one message. Okay, embeds are pretty much part of a message. So I just want you guys to understand that. And you can see, again, I really like descriptions a lot better. And you can set the timestamp of the embed by doing embed.setTimestamp, and what this will do is it will show on the bottom the time that the message was sent or the message embed was created. There are a bunch of methods that you can use. I'll also show you guys if you guys want to set an image, all you got to do is just pass in the URL of the image. So you just call set image. If you wanted to let's see what else. Again, there's a bunch of stuff, so I highly urge you guys to just look through the docs and just play around with it. You can also set a footer. So let's do set image, and let's just set my Discord icon image, because why not? So we're gonna get my avatar by doing I think it's display avatar URL. Hopefully that's correct. I'm not sure. So let's see. It should work. There was an error. Try it again. Okay, should be logging in soon. 10 minutes, okay. I want to try to wrap this up. Okay, Bart's logged in. Let's try this now. Apparently there's an error. Not sure why. The image did not set. Set image. I forgot what set image was actually, but I think it's actually avatar. Forgot what the avatar was. Let me actually check this real quick. User. So again, if you ever have any questions, you guys can always just join my Discord server and ask for questions. Let's see, a link to have one. Okay, so that was actually a function, so no wonder why that didn't do anything. Okay, so let's try this again. If our bot can log in faster. Come on. Okay, bot's online. There we go, and you can see my images right over there. Alright, cool. So let's try a couple more things, of course. Again, I highly suggest you guys just look at the documentation and just look at all the available methods. You can even attach files. You can set the author. So I'll show you guys what that looks like as well. So we can do embed set author, and the first parameter is the name of the author. So I'm going to use my name. So we're going to say message.author.tag, and that's going to give us our username with the pound symbol and the discriminator. And the icon URL, we can set that as well. So let's do message.author.display avatar URL. So and we can also pass in a URL for the author, but we're gonna omit that. Save again. Hopefully our bot's taking forever to log in. Alright, so you can see that my avatar icon is up there. The name of the author is up there, which is pretty cool. And again, there are a bunch of things that you can do. You can also set a thumbnail. I'll set the thumbnail as well. So to do that, we're going to do embed.setThumbnail. And we're just going to pass in the URL. So I'm going to get my avatar URL by saying message.author.display avatar URL. The same exact method that I've been calling on the author object or the author property, which is a instance of a user. And you're gonna see my thumbnail is up there now, and yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. So highly suggest you guys to play around with the embeds. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And so let's do one more quick example. I think this example actually should work. But another way you can send an embed is by just manually writing it out by passing in a JSON object or just passing an object, and I'll show you guys. So if you look at the documentation, they actually give you a really good example. Okay, so let's just try to do that real quick. So I'm gonna comment all this code out, and let's just do message.channel.send. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna say let embed equal this object, and this object is going to contain some properties. So I'm not actually entirely sure because I've never really done this before, but I'm guessing that you can actually just, whatever properties that the message embed itself has would probably match the properties that you would pass in. That's just what I'm guessing, but we're going to confirm in just a sec. So we saw image was one earlier, so we're going to go ahead and say image, and I'm going to say message.author.display avatar URL, and I'm going to pass in an object, and we're going to say embed. Or since we're in ES6, we can just, because what I'm going to do is we need to pass in this property called embed, and the value of that has to be the object of the embed, which is just this. Okay, but since the names match, right, we can just leave it like this. Okay, which should be just fine, I think. Let's try this right now. Okay, our bot is just taking forever. Okay, there we go. Okay, so the embed did send, but apparently the image was alright. Let's try this now. Your bot logged much faster. Okay, so let me actually go back to text channel. And then we're gonna go to the send function. So okay, so it wasn't image, it was actually thumbnail, but Oh wait, we forgot. We have to pass. I think we have to pass in a URL parameter as well. URL. Okay, that should work. I'm very confident that one should work. Perfect. It's exactly what we want. Okay, and we can also do other things too, such as description. And I think the way you have to kind of like guess and check this is if we go to message embed, and if we click on description, well, this is a string. The image was actually an object itself. So description, we can just probably pass in a string. So I think I can just probably do, this is an embed created from a JSON object. Save. Okay. Okay, perfect. This is an embed created from a JSON object. So that's our description, but of course we want it to be the embed content, so we're gonna leave like that. The thumbnail, we can also do a thumbnail as well. We're gonna pass in the URL parameter. So yes, you can just look at the documentation. You can see that thumbnail is actually its own object, so it has to match these properties. Okay, so we can, it seems like we can actually play around with the height and width as well, so I'll try that in just a sec. So the URL, we're going to do message.author.display avatar, and I think height we'll do 50, I think, right? It's a number, so let's try 50 with 50. I'm not sure if the height and width actually would work, but we can just always try new things and see how they work. Seems like nothing really changed, I think. Let's try, or maybe that may have just been the default. Let's try again. Okay. No, nothing seemed to had nothing seemed to had changed. Maybe I may have did something wrong, but it should be okay. We're not gonna worry too much about that. The important part is just getting the thumbnail, so that works as well. We can do a timestamp. Well, typically the timestamp is just the current date, so we can just do timestamp. And this is actually a number. I think it's actually the a long number. I forgot what the property was. Set thumbnail. But I know for a fact the timestamp itself is a I think it's, I forgot what it's called. But I think, let's see, new date to time string, I think. No, it should be get milliseconds. I think it's milliseconds, I think. Let me try that real quick and see what happens. Okay, crossing fingers. Nope. Get, let's try new date and see if that works. Okay, I was wrong. Okay, that works. Yeah, we went all the way back to December 31st, 1969. Okay, so that works. Perfect. Great. Okay, so yeah, I think you guys get the point. I mean, I don't want to drag this out for too long, but you guys get the idea. Okay, so yes, there are different ways that you can create embed messages. This method of using an object is nothing new. I just want to state that. But the only difference in version 12 is instead of instantiating a rich embed class, you instantiate a message embed class, which is what we did over here. So hopefully that made some sense for you guys. And again, feel free to leave a comment down below, leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more videos, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.